like the Dutch Masters. Dutch football sides have always been packed with temperamental and precocious talent. And yet, despite the likes of Johan Cruyff, Ruud Gullit, Frank Rijkaard in the past and Dennis Bergkamp today, Holland remained the greatest team never to have won the World Cup. Twice they've reached the final, beaten in 1974 by host West Germany, in 1978 by Argentina after extra time. In their European qualifying group, Holland were drawn against rivals Belgium, San Marino, Turkey, the man who led them in Euro 96. Coaching Holland has always been something of a high-wire act for the man in charge. They're a team with a history of public spats between players and management. In USA 94, Dick Advocaat named Ruud Gullit in his squad, but Gullit walked out after a disagreement over tactics. Then, during Euro 96, midfielder Edgar Davids was sent home after accusing Hiddink of racism. Despite lucrative moves to Italy, Davids hasn't played for Holland since. In Italy is Dennis Bergkamp, a revelation in revitalised form since his move to the English Premier League and Arsenal. Bergkamp arrived to play for Arsenal amid speculation he was going to England for one last big payday. He's proved his critics wrong and Hiddink right.
One of the things I'm proud of to be that I had to say goodbye to Dennis Bergkamp 1 year ago because of several reasons. So I maintained my opinion to play him, and when you see when he's acting now in England or in a Dutch team, it's very, very
exceptional in qualifying, scoring a hat-trick in Holland's 7-1 destruction of Wales early on. And then came a crucial goal in a 3-0 thrashing of Belgium in Brussels, a key win for the Dutch. But Bergkamp hates to fly. He missed the match in Turkey. Luckily, France isn't too far away.
Not all the big names see us as a favourite for the tournament because
any analysis of the Dutch team in recent years cannot ignore the Ajax influence and the team that won the European Cup in 1995. A team that included Clarence Seedorf, Winston Bogarde, Patrick Kluivert, Michael Reiziger, Edgar Davids, Mark Overmars and Frank and Ronald de Boer. Ajax were Holland. Of that team, the de Boer brothers remain at Ajax. But Michael Reiziger moved to Barcelona, Mark Overmars to Arsenal, Winston Bogarde, Edgar Davids and Patrick Kluivert to Milan. Clarence Seedorf, now at Real Madrid, originally left for Sampdoria in Italy. Seedorf has had an excellent time in Spain. A right-sided midfielder, he's now an integral part of the Dutch setup. His Euro 96 was a nightmare. He missed a crucial penalty against France in the quarter-finals. After the game, and to the fury of the Dutch press, he merely said he'd been unlucky. It was not Seedorf should step up to take the spot kick. He missed again, and Holland had lost their first and only game of the qualification campaign. After apologising profusely, Seedorf promised Hiddink he would never take another penalty again. Another of that great Ajax team was Patrick Kluivert, now at AC Milan. He's had problems on and off the field. He was involved in a... But despite his problems, Kluivert did score in Holland's next big qualifier and their second crushing defeat of lowland rivals Belgium. A massive win for Hiddink. Still at Ajax after the exodus are the footballing twins, Ronald and Frank de Boer.
System, because there are so many players of Ajax in the team, then you mustn't play 4-4-2. And then you must play 4-3-3, so the Ajax system. But now we have...
But it's PSV Eindhoven, championship winners in 1997, who are now providing half a dozen internationals for Holland. PSV are resurgent after winning last year's title. It's their strongest team since the European Cup winners of '88, including Wim Jonk, Philip Cocu, Arthur Newman and Joop Stam. Known until he moved to Willem II, and after a season he was whisked away to PSV with a 5-year contract. His work rate is legendary. His coach rates him at £15 million. Game at home to Turkey. They drew 0-0 and went through. But if the night was a little low, co-host Euro 2000 along with Belgium, success in France this summer would be the ideal starter.